Count me out. I'm not done yet.
Sexton taking the 450 title.
And welcome back for round 7 of the RM Fantasy SXperts. I am Chase.
I'm Charles.
And thank you for joining us live if you're watching right now. Gosh, how does one weekend off feel so long?
Feels like a whole season ago now.
You kind of feel like the season ended.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a sad day.
I didn't even know what to do.
The riders that, I wonder too, like the riders that are healthy, I wonder if they like or dislike it. I feel like the idea of a weekend off might sound good, but like when you actually get to the point, you're like, actually, I'd probably just rather be racing.
Yeah, I wonder if you're healthy.
For guys like Sexton and other guys that maybe needed a weekend off or need to test, like it's a good thing. But for us fans, I'm not digging it, dude.
It's brutal.
It is brutal. But yeah, we're headed to Arlington, dude. I'm going to be there. Hanging out, doing a little race day live action, live announced on the floor. So if I got any fans that are going to be there, I'll be out. I think I'm going to do pit reporting because Detroit, they didn't have the pits. So I was just in the stadium the whole day. But I think this weekend I'll be out and about amongst our people hanging out, dude. Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Go say hi.
Yes, come say hi, please. But remember, too, we are doing a ticket giveaway. The 20 tickets we give away for every round, that is going to be for Birmingham. And we're going to give those away after this video is posted to YouTube, not right now live. You guys know the deal. After, comment down below if you can make it to Birmingham, which I think it's the first time we've ever gone there, right? Okay, so comment if you can make it to Birmingham, how many tickets you would need. Does not include travel, but yeah, go do it. How was your weekend points-wise from Glendale?
Not looking good for me. So I still did okay. I'm at 207 right now.
I'm at 100. But, I'm at 167. I did close the gap on you though. I got 50 points. Malcolm saved my life, even though it was getting saucy because he was catching up to Coop there at the end. So I was a little worried it was not going to work out. But yeah, so I had him. I got 50 points. How many did you get, Chuck?
I got 25.
Oh,
which isn't that bad. I mean, I got 4 out of the top 5, just wrong order. And then 1 was just 1 position off. So
really?
Yeah, no wild card, no nothing.
Dang. All right. Well, wasn't too bad though. Yeah.
Not too bad.
How was the racing? Who'd you have to win?
So I had Tomac to win. So there's that.
Really?
Not that he looked bad. He was still good. I mean, 4th place, pretty dang good. But I don't know. I expected a little more fire.
Interesting. All right. Well,
yeah, who did you have to win?
Oh gosh, let me see my previous picks and points here real quick. I had Tomac. I took the guy that's been really good at Glen. I tried to go statistically. Yeah. Jinx.
Statistically.
I tried to look at what was going to look really good, and that's what I got. But All right, well, look, we're headed into Arlington. We got a lot to talk about here. And we also got Daniel Blair, who's going to be calling in.
Yeah.
One of our favorite guests of the show. So Daniel Blair's calling in. Before we do that, though, let's check it out. Let's talk about why we're playing fantasy. Nick, man behind the camera today, show us real quick the grand prizes that are up for grabs for fantasy this year. There they are.
First place, race prep, KTM 450 SXF.
3 dirt bikes.
3 dirt bikes.
Shout out KTM.
Yeah, shout out KTM. 250 SX, so the 2-stroke. Second place, the KTM SX E3 for 3rd place.
Yeah.
4th place, you're getting that Fastway VIP trip and training session. 5th place, your supply of tires from Dunlop. 6th place, you're getting the 2 Stasic 16 e-drive bikes. 7th place is the Motion Pro tool package, tool and accessory package. 8th place, you're getting the Honda generator and spending spree. 9th place, Fly Racing gear and spending spree. And 10th, you're getting the Oakley goggles and sunglasses.
Boom. What do we have for weekly prizes this week? Pretty good ones. Full MSR gear set. 2nd place, Ojo 9800 gear bag, Bridgestone Battlecross tires, Alpine Stars gear hookup, FXR, ASV levers, unbreakable, awesome warranties on those, Fly Racing Formula CP helmet, a Acerbis spending spree from those guys, and Fox doing a V1, a helmet hookup, and then 10th place Works Connection doing the hour meter and a pro launch device, which a lot of those guys are using.
Oh, yeah.
I like that.
Lots of good stuff.
Always good stuff.
Support the brands that support us.
Yeah, remember when you're shopping on the fantasy page or when you're there putting in your picks, whatever, yeah, go check out. There's a link you can click on there that just takes you right to Rocky Mountain's website. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but it just kind of helps us track people are, shopping from the fantasy site. So make sure, do it.
Do it. And use your cash. Use the cash you win from your points. Remember, it's only good for a month, so don't waste it.
All right. Well, all right. KTM leaderboards. Nick, what do we got here? Overall season leaderboard, 339 points from Mr. Shogtown.
Killing it.
Gosh, that's
making
pretty
us look
freaking
bad
good.
Here.
JCap's 324, so let's see, 339. Your top 10 are 28 points, so barely one pick separates your top 10 right now. And we got to remember, too, we've seen winners who are outside the top 10 win a bike.
Yep.
Like jump up that much. We've also seen people who were like podium. I remember Christian was telling us one year we had a guy that was like, he was like 3rd or 2nd overall in the season. It was like coming up the last round. And he literally emailed in and was like, hey, I think I'm probably going to win a prize. Like, what do I need to do? Didn't even make top 10 after the last round. So you just never know.
Got to stay in it, stay on top. But yeah.
Anywho, all right, we're going to get Daniel Blair here on the phone here in just a little bit. And with that, real quick, okay, did the prizes? Yes. Let's do player stats. Yep. Bridgestone race recap. Let's see
Let's do it.
Nick, get it up there for us real quick.
Race recap.
All right.
Coming up.
There it is. Shout out Dr. JB getting us all of that. Charles, rock us through that real quick.
So, Roczen. So, this just goes to prove we've had this happen a bunch of different times. So, he got the whole shot, led all of the laps. Plessinger, he went down after a couple minutes. Such a bummer. Pretty uneventful for Ando. But right at the beginning, we saw Webb and Lawrence come together for a second. Webb kind of punted him off. And anyway, there are...
So interesting, though, we still have not had a winner start 3rd or worse.
Right.
It's crazy. Look how early AP crashed when he was in 2nd.
Yep.
Do you think AP would have won? He won his heat race, but then Kenny also. Dude, I don't know. I
don't know if he would have won.
Gnarly race.
I think AP and I think top 3 dudes, top 3 starting would have stayed just like that. But he just hit that slick spot and went out.
Yeah.
And what's crazy?
What?
I think it was a week ago. It was either in the heat race or a week before. He was talking about the slick spots. Just, you got to watch out for him, blah, blah. And it got him.
That's true.
I know. Such a bummer for him.
So do you think that he would have had an answer for Kenny, though? No? He looked feisty, man. Like, he just looked good. And it's crazy, too. We have some stats that we're going to go over here. But AP, he has 3 heat wins. That is more than Tomac, Webb, Anderson, and Sexton all combined. Some of the Tomac and Anderson haven't even won a heat race yet. Neither has Sexton.
Yeah, I think AP's figuring it out, but I don't think he would have beat Roczen because that's part of it. You got to keep it together the whole time. So.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, yeah, it's kind of crazy. All right. So, hold on. Let me ask Nick one question real quick because we are here and we're having the stream. Is it a different URL, Nick? I don't have a mic either. Someone moved it. So. All right, we're working on it, folks. All right. Okay. And okay. Bridge. All right, we got that. All right, so we're working on getting Daniel Blair on the phone here. For Daniel Blair. I like it. Okay, hey, so we're going into Arlington. Did you see the track?
Yeah.
Notice how it was left. Does the track look eerily familiar to what we just saw in Detroit?
McAdoo scandal. That's what that turn looks like.
The McAdoo scandal. It looks just like the Detroit track. I mean, there's one change where it sweeps all the way left around, but it looks very similar to the previous track that we had.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it seems like people are just going to have to be smart off the start. I mean, you even saw last weekend we had several issues on the start.
Yeah.
And, there's a little caution there.
Oh, I don't know. We're going to see. So, yeah, but left-hand start. So, it doesn't look anything crazy. Nick, do we have the track map that we can throw up there real quick? Sorry. That's a lap chart. We need the track map. He is working on it. Oh, it's Military Appreciation Week this also. Don't they always normally do that at San Diego? I always felt like San Diego was the race that happened at.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering this last time what was going on.
But didn't they do stuff in San Diego still had some.
It was a throwback night.
San Diego was?
Yeah, instead of the Military Appreciation. So.
Okay. Interesting.
Always come out with some cool graphics, things like that.
All right. Well, yeah.
It's always good.
Nick, did you say you got that track map we can look at real quick? There she is. Yeah, so left-hander going in, and then you have a rhythm lane down, coming back. It's a little bit different, but it looks very similar to Detroit. But the big thing is going to be that start. So this weekend, what people are really going to have to pay attention to is qualifying, right? Because we know that start, just like Detroit, was so crucial. I mean, if you talked about it when Webb was there, Webb, he went down his heat race. He was super pissed off, and then he got a bad start in the main, but he blamed it on not having a good gate pick for the main event. Yeah. So this week, you're going to have to be really on top of that because, if you get a poor gate pick here, you're going to have to be inside. Look what happened in the 250 start, right? Everyone got blown out, pushed out wide. Yep. So I've got my picks locked in right now, and we'll talk about those, but I am definitely going to be looking heavily at qualifying just to make sure to see if anybody's just way off the pace. Yeah. Because you got to get a good heat race finish, right? Yep. And then keep in mind, too, how they do the heat races, they take the odds and evens. So if somebody qualifies fourth, they have either first or second gate pick in their heat, depending on whether or not they had second or third or fourth gate pick, whatever it is. Right. So it's because 2 will have first gate pick, 4 will have second gate pick in that heat. So what do you think? Top 6 dudes are probably the ones you want to keep an eye on. Top 6 qualifying because you're going to be top 3 gate picks.
I mean,
some guys I don't know, but then some guys like AP who just never been super strong qualifiers. Do you worry a little bit just because if he qualifies 10th or 11th, he's going to have 5th, 6th gate pick, going into the night show for the heats, which is not ideal. They're doing 450s first again, by the way. Yeah. I think that's here to stay.
I feel bad for the 250 guys in the LCQ.
The LCQ is a quick turnaround.
Zoop, already worn out, and the top guys are probably in a little better fitness anyway. So if you're in the LCQ and then have to race again, that's got to be tiring. Yeah. So.
Okay. Well. Let's get into it here. This is our Fox Top Contenders. Let's get into here. Here's some interesting stats, though. Smallest points gap we've had between the top 5 in history. So it's a 11-point gap from your top 5. 2020, was a 17-point gap, and 2022 was 24. It's even, I think, the smallest in the top 6, too.
Yeah.
So we are being treated. Jett and Hunter
Awesome season.
were the first brothers
Yep.
to finish in the top 5. So, yeah, pretty crazy. Oh, look, we got player stats up now. Check it out. Here you go. Average score. Chuck, you were below average. You were below average.
I'm ashamed.
I'm below average on points total. Still no perfect scores. There's only been 2 perfect scores in the last 11 rounds. Or only been 2. Really? So we haven't had a perfect score this year. That's crazy. Yeah. Almost 11%. I got Stewart right. I like that.
Nice work.
13 people had 5 picks correct. Look at that. 41% got at least 1. Only 1.8% had Hunter in their top 5. I wonder how many of those are rollovers, or if these stats are based off rollovers. I gotta figure that with Christian, but he was the most picked wildcard spot though. Hunter was 22 and almost 23%.
Well, and it's crazy because he's been finishing around there a lot, but he looks so much more aggressive.
Well, this is the Hunter that I think we all expected to see since A1. Like I thought Hunter was gonna have top 5s by now. Let's see. 60% had Sexton in the top 5. I don't know why though. If are these people not watching Race Day Live?
That must
not
be
realizing
it,
that. It's got to be it.
Must be. Yeah. As soon as I found out about the wrist thing, or hand.
The hand.
Yeah, I was like, nope.
I mean, he said in an interview that he was just there to salvage as many points as possible. If a rider says I'm just going to try and salvage points, not looking good for Kenny.
Not looking good.
Kind of how I like to phrase that. So yeah. I don't know. So not terrible. Webb was picked in the top 5 by almost 90% of players. So he burned a lot of people too. And that was another thing too. I think what we've learned from Phoenix is you got to go off of stats. Like you got to look at where riders have historically been good.
Yep.
For like a Cooper Webb or an Eli Tomac, right? We knew that Webb has never had the greatest results in Phoenix, in Glendale. And what does he do? He drops.
Yeah, well, I mean, and it's easy to get in your head because it's like, look how good he's been all season.
Yeah.
And fiery, but statistics
But he fell back. I mean, his ride was like, between him and Tomac's ride, I guess, in Detroit, you could say it was a little bit worse, but Webb wasn't far off of that. Like starting up front and then dropping back. Yeah. And then Tomac, though, Tomac's always been good at Glendale. That's why so many people picked him. But now we're going into Arlington, which is Webb's best track historically. So I haven't picked a win. So I'm going into it right now. I'm pretty excited for that. All right. So we are waiting here for Daniel Blair to get all queued up and ready to roll. Let's just start talking about top contenders here. Jett Lawrence, here's your points leader. Where do you have him this week? Let's get these guys here.
So, controversial opinion, but I've got him in 3rd right now.
Why?
Well,
after he just won.
Jett? After he won 2 races ago?
But now, so you're going from he just won, he's got the most momentum, and now he didn't just win. I'm an idiot.
Yeah,
Roczen just won.
Uh-huh.
But you got him in 3rd?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So, I don't want to talk about the other riders yet.
Okay.
I think he's obviously riding great. We have seen him make a few mistakes.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. He's overall finishes. I mean, he got 3rd. He rode good in Glendale. But he even admitted, too, that he wasn't going to push it for the win and do anything stupid at the start. He's out here in front. Don't worry.
Okay.
So I don't know. 3:16.49. I mean, he hasn't been the Jett Lawrence that everybody thought, which I think is great. I think it's created parity for the series. I don't want a single rider to go on a run.
Yeah.
So I don't know. He's still the only rider with 2 wins. He's got the lowest average finish, but 5th best average start. That's where Jett's been hurt a little bit. His starts have just kind of been like a little all over the place.
Yep. Well, and if he didn't get punted to the side of the track last weekend, might have been a little more scary.
It could have. Nick was talking earlier. He wasn't stoked on Webb for doing that, but I'm like, hey man, Rubin's racing. If you're the most likely or like the favorite rider to win is out in front. That's not even bad. Yeah, that's just a pass.
Yeah.
Jeez, we're getting too sensitive over here.
Stay in your lane, Paul.
He was in his lane. I think Lawrence ran into him.
Check up, Jett. That wasn't bad. When Nick said it, I couldn't remember off my head exactly what it looked like. But that was just
it's fine.
Oh, that's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. The fact that he did it twice in a row.
Oh, jeez.
I'm just kidding. Rubbing's racing, okay?
The first one was.
Oh, that was
I'm not even
Freeze.
going to talk about that.
Freeze was what?
That's payback for everybody else.
Freeze
If
was
you
just
can
getting
call it
freeze
payback.
rayed by everybody all night long.
Yeah.
Look, no, I mean, and that wasn't even bad, but
Nah.
Freeze was holding dudes up, and Tomac's probably glad that all happened.
Yeah.
Because I think more riders maybe would have caught Eli if he hadn't, if Freeze wasn't there just holding up the pack a little bit.
Yep.
Maybe not. I could be totally wrong. But I don't know. I've got Jett. Let's see here real quick. As a quick reminder, I've got him second. It's going to be
Second
tough,
place?
though.
I like
yeah,
it.
second. All right, let's get to Chase Sexton here. Better get his number plate. Wasn't in your top 5.
Chase Sexton.
I got to grab him.
Yeah, 6
right
points down. He's led laps in 2 races. Average finish so far is 4.63 per gate drop. He has not qualified in position 1 yet.
He doesn't even want a heat race yet.
I know. What's going on there?
I don't know. Like, it's
Well-
kind of an odd. It's strange he's so close in the points, just considering how lackluster he's been so far. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's 2 things to it. Is it just maturity? He's not pushing the edge and he's trying to be consistent?
Yeah.
Or can he just
Well, the hand issue, right? We'll give that a pass. But
this week.
the
yeah.
only race he's won, he hole shotted and won the mud race.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, he's got a podium at A1, and then he won. He got second in Detroit, but he was clearly off the pace of Jett. I just haven't seen any like those flashes of like the Sexton raw speed that we saw when he was battling with Tomac in outdoors.
Yeah.
I feel like he was even a little bit better like in the SMX rounds. But I get it, like new bike. But at this point, how long can we give it's new bike? How long can we keep giving that card?
I think it's about time.
Is that get out of
for
jail
no
free
more.
card?
I think maybe give him a week or 2 for the wrist thing.
Okay.
Well, I guess it's already been 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But maybe give him another week.
And then it's like no, I don't want to hear about the bike issue type stuff,
No
or like
more
we're still learning the
excuses.
bike.
That's what I think.
I mean, I'm being a critic, and it's I'll never be as good as Chase Sexton, but
It's easy to armchair race.
okay, yeah, I don't know.
But, that's what I think.
All right, well, keep that up there real quick. I'm gonna message Blair real quick and see.
But anyway, to go along with, hasn't qualified P1 yet. Last year, he was in P1 5 out of the 6 rounds last year.
Well, that's what I mean. So we just
yeah.
haven't seen the Sexton speed, right?
Yep.
He's been pretty consistent, but I don't know. Still, I don't feel good about my top 5 this weekend until if he comes out in qualifying, he looks really good because you can even tell like
If he qualifies good, you better have him in your top 5.
yeah, it could
Has
be
anyone
interesting.
heard anything on his hand?
No, I
You guys
haven't.
heard anything?
I have not yet.
Nope. Not a word.
See?
Just check the chat.
Yeah. Anyone in the chat, if you know, let us know.
Yeah, we will check out. All right, let's move on here. Let's talk about RM Plessinger real quick.
Still one of the biggest surprises for me this year, I think.
You think so?
Pleasant surprise.
Yeah. Nick, throw those stats up
So,
real quick.
yeah, he's 9 points down. Overall finishes 4, 5, 1, 3, 6, 10. He started 3rd or better in 3 of his last 4 main event gate drops. He's won his last 3 heats. That's going to translate to good gate picks and good starts. So, I don't know. I think he's a great option for your top 5. Last 4 overall finishes at Arlington are 5, 6, 9, 6. He won 2 heats there
I mean, like, woulda, coulda, shoulda in Glendale, right? Dude, I mean, he's got that lowest average finish. I think people are still just overlooking the whole hype here. And look at that. He's going to be at the PBR Texas Live bar hanging out there on Friday. So if you want to if you're going to be in Arlington, you want to go hang out with AP, go there. But, yeah, he's just 9 points behind Jett. His qualifying, you're never going to expect him to be up there like in your top 3 maybe. He's usually right around that 10th place, so maybe don't stress out as much with AP, but it does worry me a little bit just when it does come to that. So we'll see how it goes. A little stressful.
Yeah. Either way, great pick for your top 5.
Okay. All right, now
Talk-
here's the real question, Mike. What?
No, go ahead.
I was going to say the rider that probably needs the biggest bounce back is going to be Cooper Webb.
Oh, yeah.
He was clearly.
But he has an amazing record here.
I know. That's why I picked him to win.
So winningest rider in Arlington history. So the record, 1-3-1-1-1-12-1. Average finish of 2.8 since 2019.
Yeah, I don't know. He's only podiumed twice so far, and his win came. See, there's another thing too. Is like this is odd to me. He's the only race he's won. He didn't actually win a race.
Right.
So I'm still like he's been really good, but I'm just like, should we count that as like championship contention? Like I almost look at Ken Roczen right now, and I hate to say this, as like more of a title contender than Webb. Like Kenny, take away the bad luck he's had off some of the starts, I would still. Webb needs to win. Like, he needs to cross the finish line first.
I agree, but it's still amazing that, so he's 10 points down, and he's been able to do that without even winning. Like, he's just always there. And he's that sneaky guy that he'll stalk you, and pass you towards the end of the race.
Yeah, what's crazy, I was looking at some of the stats overall, is that he actually, in the last... out of like the top 10 closest 450 finishes that we've ever had, Webb has like 5 or 6 of them, where he's had many, many race wins where he's won by like 0.5, 0.3 seconds. I remember he beat Kenny Roczen for one where it was like 0.0 something seconds. It was the closest race we've ever had.
Yep.
So no rider has been better at just tracking dudes down late in the race and making those last minute passes. But,
yeah, known for that.
it's going to be interesting. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Anyway, if you do want to know, last year, the overall in Arlington, what he did was 5-2-1 for first overall. So got stronger throughout the night.
Okay. All right. Well, look, Anderson. Let's get him up here.
Okay.
And we're still working on Blair. Let's get Anderson up here. Another rider that hasn't won yet.
Pretty crazy.
Oh, yeah. And we have that stat, too. Shout out to Clinton Fowler. What was it? We've had 6 race winners 9 times in like Supercross history. So right now we're at 5.
We're at 5, yep.
So odds are, if you look at statistically, Anderson and Tomac do not have great odds.
They don't.
Of winning a race. I 100% believe Anderson's going to win a race. I'm not too stressed about that.
Yep.
But it's more of just like, dude, they got to get it done soon. Because we even had that stat a few weeks ago where he was talking about how Anderson, that no rider or 46 out of the last 50 Supercross champions in the 450 class had all won by round 4.
Yeah.
Now we're on round 7.
Yeah.
Those 2 still haven't. And again, I'm still like the Webb thing. I still like, maybe it bugs me more than it should, but I still am not like fully set on it. But should work out pretty good. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Where do you have him though in your top 5? He's got to be. He's top 5. 7 out of 8 gate drops.
Yeah, I've got him in 4th. I think it would be crazy to not have him in your top 5 because he's there. I think he's, 7 out of 8. So
dude, he hasn't won since round 17 of 2022.
That's
he won
super crazy.
7 races that year.
Yeah. Well, and he looks a lot better than last year. So he's looking real fiery, real spicy. He's only 11 points back.
Yeah.
And,
I don't know, but his starts are good. He's only started worse than 6 in 2 of the 8 main gate drops this year. Arlington, he's podiumed a couple times, hasn't won there. So I don't know. Do you pick a guy like Anderson who's like maybe you could argue raw speed? I don't know. What do you think?
I'd have him in the middle of the top 5.
Okay, in the middle.
There's a couple dudes that might be a little faster at this track, but
okay, fair enough.
Yeah, 3rd,
All right.
4th.
Let's get to Ken
Good
Roczen
spot.
here. Dropped my phone. Sneaky
Ken
pick to
Rocz.
win.
Oh, yeah.
Sneaky pick.
Do you see his diet, man?
Yeah. Did
I don't know
anybody else
about
see
that diet.
Nick, we got the clip. He's literally eating raw bone. What is it? Bone marrow?
Marrow. I didn't eat. Is this even legal? You can just do this?
Did he fly to Germany
With
to
a
do
knife?
this?
This is the most hardcore thing I've seen.
Feel getting better already.
disgusting.
Hey,
I've heard it tastes good. So.
is this the secret sauce? Is
Nick,
this why
who told you
is
that?
this why
Nick?
he's winning?
Nick, who told
Google.
you that?
The Google machine told me that.
The Googly machine told you? He's literally eating that.
And he's doing. He also said he was eating like raw liver or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just.
So disgusting. We got the new liver. It's the Marrow
Feel
King, dude.
getting better already.
The Liver King and now Marrow King. I guess
Either way,
somebody he trusts must have told him, go eat bone marrow. It's good for you.
whatever he's doing,
That's
no judgments here because
disgusting. Hey,
it's working for him.
if somebody said if I ate bone marrow, I could be as fast as Kenny Rocks on a dirt bike, I'd do it in a heartbeat, bro. His last 3 finishes, he's gone. He just won. He was a podium before that in the 7th. Arlington hasn't won the last 5 trips there. Just has 2 podiums.
Yep.
But what's kind of interesting, too, is that historically, when you look at Ken Roczen, this is kind of around the point in that season where his season goes off the rails. It's usually like around Daytona-ish.
Yep.
But, dude, I'm telling you, man, I think Kenny is a sleeper for this title.
Well, yeah. I think he is too, but last time he won back-to-back, 2017.
Back-to-back venues.
Back-to-back venues,
Because
yes.
he won the three-peat in 2021, right? When they're doing the residencies. But, yeah, and that was first year on Honda when he busted himself up. He won A1 and then whatever was next, San Diego or something.
I just knocked on wood for him right now.
Okay, yeah, so he's never won back-to-back in different venues since then. Dude, that's 5 years ago or 4 years ago.
But
It's a long
also,
time.
he's been looking dang good all season.
Okay, I mean,
A few mistakes or bad starts, but
so he has won in Arlington a long, long time ago.
yeah, statistically,
Bone marrow. I still can't get
might
over
not
that.
be a winner this weekend, but the way he's looking,
Okay.
might have a chance.
Interesting. Well, hey, look, do we have 2 guests on the call right now? Oh my gosh.
Dang.
We are treated to wow, let's get them on. We've got Daniel Blair and Ryan Hughes on the phone with us.
What?
Coming in side by side.
Awesome. Two experts.
2 experts of the entire show. I like that. Let's get them on here. We're about to have them see live on the SXperts show. Oh, my gosh. Well, I'm staring at Jordan Flynn right now.
Jordan's an expert.
Jordan's the guy that sets up the Zoom call.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're good to go.
We're working on it right now. We'll get him in there. But anyway, I've Kenny Roczen's bike. There he is, Daniel Blair.
What's up?
Dude,
What's up, man? How are you?
were you just talking to Ryno? We're trying to get him on, too.
Dude. All right. Hey, you guys
It's going to get
missed
spicy in here.
out is what you missed out on. We had a good conversation because I had talked to Ryno and he had talked to me.
Oh,
and then
did
all of a sudden,
Did he hop off?
no, he's
No,
on
I'm
here. I
still
don't
on.
know. He's
Oh,
right
there
here.
he is. There he is. Oh,
What's up?
Well, so I got to take full responsibility. I had emailed Ryno's team last week to confirm if he was on, and I never got a response back. But apparently, Ryno got the memo, and now I was like, all right,
they sent me something, and I was like, okay, cool, 3 o'clock, and then jumped on, and then all of a sudden, boom, I'm talking to Daniel. I'm like, okay.
Me too.
Yeah.
I look, I'm like, what are you doing on here? He's like, I don't know. And then we just started talking. We just had a great conversation, like really good one too. So I'm glad it all worked out terribly for you guys, but it was good for us.
Oh,
What
we
did
were
you guys
stressing.
talk about? Did you guys talk about racing or something entirely different?
Yeah, well, of course, we talked about racing, motocross, but then also just, people we work with and things that just will stay in between us two. But,
Never mind.
yeah, of course. Well, what are myself and Daniel going to talk about? Pretty much just racing.
This is a first. We've never had 2 guests on, and I was stressing out because they're like, hey, I was like, hey, Jordan's like, I haven't seen Daniel hop in yet. And then I was like, okay. And then he's like, hey, Ryno's in here too. I was like, no idea. Well, hey, we're glad to see you guys both here. We were just bench racing. Let's talk about what we were just talking about. I'll let either one of you answer this. I think Ken Roczen is a valid title contender this year. I mean, he's been pretty nonchalant when he got his win in Phoenix. He's like, I don't win many of these anymore, so I'm going to soak it all in. But if you're Kenny Roczen, you're looking at the speed that he has, you've got to be thinking, I'm in this, right?
Go ahead, Daniel.
All right. Well, two things. Number one is the points. I think he's like 15 down, which isn't bad. It's not a big number, but at the same time, he's got to go through a lot of guys to get to one. So he does have a challenge. On the positive for me, I would say normally he starts really strong and then kind of fades off, but he seems to be actually kind of getting into a little bit of a lift off here mid-season. So if that can carry him deeper this year than normal, then yeah, he has a shot because speed-wise, he's always had it. So for me, I'm looking at a little bit slower start, not in his riding, but just the results were goofy. But he's starting to hit a stride mid-season. He's only 15 down, but he's going to have to go through like 5 or 6 guys to get to one because it's so bunched up right now. So, but yeah, I mean, ain't counting him out at all. And I think he'd be great this weekend in Arlington for sure.
Ryno, how do you feel about Tomac? I mean, do you think he's have we seen the best version of Eli that we're going to see for the next 3 or 4 rounds? Or do you think this break was exactly what he needed? I can't tell if his fitness still isn't quite where it needs to be. What are your thoughts on him coming into Arlington?
Yeah, sometimes Eli's a little bit of a special character again, just like, because again, he can come through the pack and just blow everybody away, but sometimes he fades backwards and this and that. I think, like I say, maybe a little bit of bike setup they had that was a problem. Seam was a little bit better last week, but there's life, and there comes a point in your career, and there comes a point whenever it is that you just kind of lose that little bit. Yeah. Is it the little bit of putting it on the edge? Is that little bit of youth? Is that little bit of desire? Is that little, you know what I mean? It's when, and then if at that level, if you lose that little bit just because you've been in there for so long, well, then that looks like there's something off. Oh, you're not fit. You're not fast. Oh, you got an injury. Oh, your bike's not working. No, it's just time,
Yeah.
and maybe that's not what it is, but I kind of see little signs of that, because again, I've been watching this sport for over 40 years, and I've seen many people come in, including myself, and know what it feels like when it's starting to get to that point. So yeah, I don't know. To me, the turning point will be Daytona. Yeah. That's the turning point. If he can win Daytona, then you're going to see Eli come back. I think if he doesn't, if he has a little bit of struggle, then I think that it's going to be that same way the rest of the year, just because, again, time of career.
Yeah, because he could either be losing a little bit here and there and not willing to hang it out, or, I mean, he only started riding the bike in, November? Yeah. He only had a couple months to prepare, and is it possible maybe his fitness just isn't 100% yet?
Yeah, when you looked at Glendale, was Glendale a fitness thing or just not wanting to go that pace thing?
Again, it's like weird things. Like who came up on the inside of him? He kind of just like a Jett, I think. Yeah, kind of just almost like let him by. It's like there's not race. I think maybe he battled with a little bit more arm pump, possibly.
Okay.
And but like I say, I just think that there's when you've been in it so long, it starts to wear on you.
Yeah.
It starts to wear on you, and I just think that might be at this point in his career that there's nothing you can do when you start just getting a little bit older. You saw that with Reed, you saw that with Jeremy, you saw that with Stanton and Rick Johnson. You know what I mean? It goes down the road.
Sure.
And so, I just think there's turning points, just like with this one with Roczen. There's a turning point here, but I just feel that track was really good for him, slick, fast, good for that bike. When that bike, I think, gets at a Daytona, maybe a little bit more ruddy, tighty, that's where I feel like he'll struggle a little bit more. I just think it was a really good track for him and that bike. But again, like you say, 15 back, that definitely put a kick in my balls.
No kidding. Hey, yeah.
Damn, I think I might got that.
Hey, Blair, what about your boy Coop over here? Number 2. I don't like. Eli Tomac kind of gets a little bit of a pass for his ride in Detroit, right? Because it wasn't spectacular. He really dropped off. But I don't think anybody saw what happened last week with Coop. And historically, you look at Glendale, it's not his best track. But you think he can come back and win this weekend? I haven't picked a win.
That's weird. He's actually my pick to win this weekend. And it's for 2 reasons. One is, yes, Glendale was not good for him. I saw that coming, though. He's never been good there. It's hard pack. It's a sendier track, and Cooper doesn't do that. That's not how he operates this game. He likes when it's slower mile per hour, it's beat up, and he can navigate and craft them without having to be so wicked. So I knew he was going to be bad there. He actually did kind of survived it, sort of, I guess. But Arlington, he's good in that building. It's going to be soft. It's really tight. And he's probably pissed, man. I mean, honestly, like knowing him, Detroit, I think he was super frustrated because that was a good one for him that got away. Glendale was a bad one for him, and he knew it. And just a week off to be frustrated, I could see him being super extra mad, and that's good for him. So, yeah, he's actually my pick to win in Arlington too, and I think he's going to be good at Daytona. He's always been like right there, this close there. So these next 2 rounds are really, really good for him. They're good for Kenny. I feel like they're good for a lot of people. That's what makes this cool. But yes, Cooper is, I think he's going to be good this weekend, and he's my pick.
Do you guys think that Jett right now, either one you can answer, we'll start with Daniel and go to Ryan, is he the guy to beat, or do you think these top guys like Webb, Tomac, Anderson, Roczen, all them, do you think they just look at like, no, like, I just got to ride my race, or do you think, is anybody still looking at like, I just need to beat Jett, or are these guys still just worried about this tight points race right now?
I think there's a combination of disbelief and belief going on at the same time. I think these guys all know what they're dealing with in Jett and that he's rare and he's different, and they've all accepted that. But they also haven't accepted the fact that this one's going to be his. It's the first year. It's goofy. He's all over the place a little bit. They all know that. So I think Cooper and Kenny and Jason, Chase, they all know the inevitable, but I think they feel like they got a shot at him this year. And that's why they're not afraid to be aggressive with him and mess with him. But I think they also know in the back of their mind that reality is going to set in at some point, and it's going to be hard for him.
Yeah. Do you still think, like, Ryno, do you still think that Jett's kind of – he's had, I would say, of all these top guys, like the biggest moments so far this year where it looks like maybe he's riding a little bit out of his comfort zone or pushing too hard, like in Detroit. He's had a few others. Do you still think that we're seeing not quite that experience that some of these other guys have out of Jett, or do you think – he's got this figured out for the most part?
Well, I feel that what happened is Jett came in as Jett and very calculated, very calm, very this. Then he put the statement out of I'm going for the record. And then the Supercross or the motocross industry jumped on that, which was such a slap in the face to Jeremy and anybody else that has even 5, 10, 20 of these things, you know? And so nobody should ever got on that. But then it looked like he started riding outside of himself. You know, riding outside of himself. And then to me, it seems like he's reeling it back in now. But like I said before, I go, you know, don't think that Jett's coming in and just smoking everybody in Supercross just because he did an outdoors. You only have 50 seconds to pick up a second or half a second. In outdoors, you have 2 minutes or more to pick up 1 or 2 seconds. And there's so much availability of speed on an outdoor track and stuff like that than there is Supercross. So I always thought that Jett was never going to be just a runaway winner because, you know, you can't outclass somebody that much in Supercross as maybe you could outdoors because there's so much more to it, I guess, you know what I'm saying? So I just think if he can get back into riding in his game, not outside of himself, he'll start being a lot more consistent. Do I see him just pulling off win after win after win? Only if he can whole shot every race. You know what I'm saying? He has to whole shot every race, then I see him pulling off more wins. But the starts that he's getting, I don't see it possible, you know?
Yeah, he's been a little up and down with the starts. He's ripped whole shots.
Yeah, his starts aren't like they were outdoors, you know? But again, a lot of people are figuring it out, and a lot of people watched what he's done. And like I say, a lot of people changed their technique this year. You know, I had big talks of a lot of people about technique. You see Cooper. His hips are rotated out more than ever now. And I see these little things. Jason Anderson isn't flopping all over the motorcycle anymore, you know? Just that a lot of people have picked up little things, and that's where our sport is going. It's more about technique than it is throttle.
Yep.
All day long, right, you know, because these bikes are so good now. Use these bikes correctly. If you're spinning the rear wheel and losing traction, you're not using the bike correctly. If you're hitting the rev limiter, you're not using the bike correctly. Just tell your engine builder to slow your bike down then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's where this sport is going, is so much more into technique and an approach. And that's where Jett has a little bit over everybody, but everybody is starting to, you know, I guess, you know, find that game, you know?
Gotcha.
Yeah. Get adjusted up.
Yeah.
So I'm also curious about Jason Anderson. So he's 11 points back. He hasn't won yet. Do you think he can pull it off? Do a win?
Yeah. I mean,
overall in the championship, do you think he has a chance at this thing, like later in the season?
I feel everybody does. Even the guy that's 22 points behind still does. You know what I mean? I mean, it takes one crash, it takes one DNF, it takes one this, and that guy's back up, or somebody's, losing points or whatever it is. So I feel that it's so close, and there's so many good riders now that things can be, jumbled up very quickly. And so, yes, he does have a chance. I feel that he's very relaxed because I see him at the test tracks all the time, and he's just really relaxed, just having a good time. And I feel that he's going to be the guy that's just there. He's not going to win a lot of races and that, but he's just going to be there. And that might be the champion this year, is the guy that's just there.
Interesting. Well, speaking of there, I want to talk about Forkner, but I want to talk to Blair first, and we'll come back to you, Ryno, because Ryno was there in Detroit, smiling ear to ear, taking pictures of Forkner when he won that race. But hey, Daniel, going back to you real quick, with a guy like Forkner, are the 250 riders that are at that age group, like the Forkners, the Jordan Smiths, and some of these Hampshire, because you see some of these older 450 guys that are all turning 30 and low 30s still being competitive, does it take some of the pressure off these 250 guys that they have to move up sooner than later? Like, what do you think RJ and some of these guys maybe had a shot at a 450 ride but turned it down because they see that?
If I could, I guess, look back a little bit to look forward, I would say that it's really competitive right now. You have a generation that didn't go away. These 30, 31-year-old dudes that are all still so good late. And then the RJ group, the Jordan Smith group, like that generation never pushed them all the way out. And it happens. Like the young guys kind of come in and push out. Hunter Lawrence and Justin Cooper are starting to do that now a little bit and move guys behind them. And no one ever did that to these guys. So they all stuck around and they're all still in there. They're all really good. And so for Jordan and RJ, I think that in a perfect world, they would have moved up and gone into the pathway like everybody. But it got log jammed because there's so much damn talent in the 450 class. So they're kind of stuck there now. And I don't know where they're all at mentally. I think Ryno, he'll get to Austin because that story's so different. That's a completely different trajectory that was abrupted by some injuries. That's different. But for RJ and Jordan, I would say right now they're probably not hating life all the way because they're competitive. They're training to win, not to get 10th. Like that's way more motivating to train every day to be a winner and not hope to get a 10th. And they're making crushing bonuses. So to me, they're probably not as mad as maybe they were a year or two ago when they thought they were missing the boat. But in my opinion, it's a logjam. 450 class has got so many damn good dudes in their 30s. There's just no room unless you force them out, and that generation never did it.
Okay. Yep. Ryno, Forkner, just what the doctor ordered. I don't think he could have made a better statement going into this second round, but I'm kind of curious to hear you guys' thoughts. What was the conversation after that race that you guys have had? Is there anything that you guys have worked on going into Arlington?
First I would like to make one thing about that last subject.
You bet.
I just feel that why nobody's, because it takes such a certain type of rider to stay at the top of that 450 class, that top class. You know what I'm saying? And there's not many of them. So that's why they stay there, because there's not many people that can come up and take their spot. There's a lot of people that have come up, but they faded away, And again, It takes a certain person to be able to stay up there because it's so damn hard. And so that's why I feel like these guys stay for so long, because they're that certain person. And the other guys, if you don't have everything, you're never going to stay at the top, So that's what I see there. So with Austin, after Detroit, going into Detroit, I told everybody, I said it, not everybody, but in my team, whatever, I said, we're going to win. And they're like, whoa, Ryno. I go, no. We're going to win. And if our approach to how we think we can win does not work, well, then we'll settle at that. But do not tell my rider to go to the track and just be careful and just get through it, because now he's going to be riding defensively. So I completely changed the tune on everything that we do and the approach that we go. And it worked way better than I expected, and again, when it's your time, it's your time. And I've always told Austin, I said, hey, sometimes in life we get beat down, and those are the tests. And how we get rewarded is how we handle things. And so these last few years have been your test. And I go, this is your year. Excuse my language, but this is your fucking year. And do not deny it. Do not doubt it. You do need to trust it.
Right.
And this is our MO. And so after Detroit, I said, man, I couldn't have painted a better picture. Fastest qualifier, whole shot heat, every lap led, whole shot main, every lap led. Is that going to happen all the time? No. Is he going to win all the time? No. But we have to stick to our game to win this championship, and that is by the approach, the technique, and the mindset that we have.
Right on. No, I think it's awesome. I know Austin was looking for a change. That's why he, reached out to you, and you guys have been working together. So, hey, it's awesome to see all that hard work I know you guys have been putting on pay off. And so congratulations on that. Don't want to dwell on it too long because there's a lot more work to do coming up in Arlington. But, no, it's stoked for you and stoked for Austin. I think if anybody out there deserves another this title, I think Austin would be up there on everybody's, the top of everybody's list.
Oh, yeah.
Last question for both of you going into Arlington. Let's just hear it. Give us your top three. Give us a podium each. Ryno, we'll start with you. Give us your podium for Arlington.
Arlington, I'll go Jett, Cooper. Arlington's a little bit hard, a little bit. Let's go Anderson.
Okay.
Cool.
And
Daniel?
and
I'll go Webb, Jett, Sexton.
Even with the hand?
Oh, yeah.
You heard anything about that?
I forgot about that.
Hold on.
No,
Look at the eraser.
yeah, well, and it's funny too because I work for that company, but I'm not in their business. I don't know what's going on with the 450 guys. A little bit of 250 stuff, but yeah, my bad on that. I'll trust it.
Maybe a Plessinger because you got the cowboy spirit in Texas.
Dude, AP's been phenomenal, and I think he's not getting the credit he deserves.
You're right. Thank you, Ryno. I'm going AP because he would have podiumed Glendale too. I think he got 100%. A little antsy up there. I think he saw a moment, but it was Kenny's, not his. And I think he pushed. So I'll put him on the podium for sure.
Not a bad gig. All right. Well, look, we want to thank both of you for coming on the show. This is a first, and it was a huge surprise and stressful, but I think it worked out for the better. I'm glad you guys got to catch up. But everybody watching this, Daniel Blair's calling it Blair's Breakdown, right? Your weekly recap show. You're talking about the race. What are you calling that?
No, it's just the Daniel Blair show.
Dude,
we went with old plain Jane on the title, but yeah, it's been awesome, and we're having a good time with it.
Don't stop. The way you articulate your words, the way that you preface things and get through it, it is phenomenal. It's a joy to watch.
Thank you.
So I appreciate it. People in the chat are talking about how much they love you too, so thank you for doing that. And then, of course,
Thank
Ryan
you.
Hughes, old Rynopower, RockyMountain8TMC.com. We carry his whole supplement line. You guys need to go watch the last interview that Ryno did because we talked about what supplements he would recommend for racers. We talked more about the nutrition side of things. We did some YouTube shorts, but so go check out the Rynopower supplements. And Ryno, this is your second time calling in this year. So thank you for being proactive and just getting on the call ready to go.
Do it.
Yep, thanks.
yeah. I don't really plan things. I just do things. But no, I love to talk about the sport. It's always been my first love, and it still is. And yeah, man, it's great, especially to talk to guys like I say, Daniel, and this that just have the passion for it. It's like we can speak different languages. We have a different language because the passion and also the experience that we have. It just. Yeah, it's great conversations.
Awesome.
Man.
Well, hey, we appreciate you guys, all right? Ryno, probably going to be in Arlington this weekend, maybe. I'll be there filling in for Lurch again, so I'll be doing the Race Day Live stuff and screaming on the stadium floor. And Daniel, hope to see you there, too.
See you Daytona.
All right, guys.
See you
Take
guys.
it easy.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for calling in.
Yeah.
Later.
Take care.
See ya.
What a good misfortunate event, dude.
I love it.
Oh my gosh, Jordan, who was like behind the scenes, he's like, hey, he's like, I haven't seen Blair hop on. We're just all like, this is not good. What's happening? And then he's like, hey, Ryno's on here. I'm just like, what? Dude, it worked out so good though. It worked out so good.
Worked out great.
Been a little stressful show to go, but I like it. It's working out.
It's all good. And I love about, Ryno talking about initiating things. That completely changes how you ride. So, I don't know. That was just such a good point.
All right. Like, getting back to Anderson, he was the rider that we left off with, right? Still hasn't won a race. I still think he's in this title battle, but I do feel like Anderson, he needs to get a win ASAP. Yep. Somebody's got to take some establish. But that's the hard part with this field. I don't think it's going to happen.
Do you think somebody could win a title without winning a race?
Dude, honestly, this year I think it could. I really think you could.
What if Webb won it and never? Well, sorry, he won an overall.
Like Anderson and Tomac? Well, dude, look at last year, right? You're going into the final 3 rounds. Chase Sexton's in 3rd overall, But he's won races. We'll give him that, right? But he's in 3rd overall. But in his mind, he's got no shot at winning the title. Yeah. He's got 2 races or 3 races left to go through Webb and Tomac. Points-wise, he's all but out of it. Webb gets ran over by AC, gets concussed, and then the very next round, Tomac goes and ruptures his Achilles tendon, and then Sexton wins the title. So there is nothing that cannot happen in this. So could a rider win and not win a race? I think with how stacked this field is, I think the most consistent rider, the one that gets the most podiums, is who we're going to see up on top of the box. Because you could win 4 or 5, but if you have 1 or 2 races where you crash or something weirdo happens, sayonara. You know what I mean?
Lose a lot of points. Yeah.
So,
kind of crazy.
Put it in there.
We're probably even going to have more winners, I think. 2 more winners.
Yeah, I mean, man, the thing about, like, Tomac is, like, there's a lot of pressure on him, especially, like, come Daytona. There is, but there isn't. Because I look at a guy like Eli Tomac and think, dude, he's won 6 Daytonas. He holds the all-time record. There's no pressure for him to win another one. Last year, sure, because he wanted to beat RC's record.
Yeah.
But this year, Daytona is just like, I won it 6 times. Like,
it'd be cool to get 7.
Everyone, sure, I agree with you. No one's ever going to win the Daytona record. You know what I mean? Again, Jett's the only one young enough in the 450 class with the talent that could maybe do it. But that's a record, honestly. Like, 6 Daytonas is up there. Maybe I'll get flack for this, but it's almost up there with the 72 Supercross wins for McElrath.
I have no comments at this time.
I'm just saying, it's like one of those records that's like, you look at it, it's like, crazy. That's unobtainable.
Yeah.
Like, when are we?
And Daytona's always super gnarly too. Like, that's awesome that it's.
Look at that. I think
6 wins.
Jett Rider saying Tim Ferry did in the 125 class, won a title, but never won a race. But yeah, Tomac. I just feel like 7 or 6 wins in Daytona is as hard to reach as 72 wins. Because think about it, you only get 1 chance a year. And in this class, Jett's 20. I mean, that means he'd have to win every one of these for, at least, 8 out of 10, 6 out of 10 or whatever. Or he's got to win 7 in the next 10 years. Let's say he races the 450 for 10 years, which that's a long time to be in the 450 class. And he's got to win 7 out of 10 of those. It's too hard to do, dude. That's why I feel like it's almost as gnarly as winning 72 Supercrosses as far as what you can reach.
Yeah,
that's hard. Just saying. Anyway, let's get to some of his
stats.
Yeah.
So Tomac, he's won Arlington 3 times, been on the podium 6 of his 8 trips. There.
See, he's a good pick for the win too. Here's crazy though. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, I just have it here. For the first time, he's gone 10 races without a win. So going back to last year. Before this, he had went 8 races in 2016. So, yeah, it's the first time he's ever gone 10 races in Supercross without a win. He has 1 podium this season. He won 4 of the first 6 rounds last year. What a contrast. Like we said, as long as he's gone since 2016. He's won Arlington 3 times, so I think he definitely needs to be in your top 5. He's finished worse than his qualifying result in 3 of 6 rounds this season. So you can't take Tomac's qualifying and be like, oh, he's going to do good tonight.
Yeah.
It's kind of just up in the air at this point. Jeez-o. I don't know. Did you say you put him in your top 5? You don't have to say where, but did you put him in there?
I put him in there.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm so torn because it's like, I always feel like he's going to do better and better, and then he's just kind of struggled.
Yeah, I don't know.
So,
okay. Well, I have my top 5 just because he's historically done good there.
Yeah.
I'm listening to the stats now after putting Webb in my top 5. I think I put him to Podium in Glendale, and it just backfired horribly. Okay.
Listen to the stats. Ferrandis. Should we talk about Ferrandis?
What is there to talk about?
6th place dude all the time.
Okay, so why talk about him? Until it's like, okay, well, again, we made a chart for him. Well, let's show it.
We made a chart for him.
I don't agree. I'm done. I did not sign up for this.
Okay.
He's got 1 top 5.
1 top 5.
Last 6 main gate drop starts. He's,
so
his average is 9.
Pretty much, if something happens to one of these other guys,
if the wild card was 6th
or whatever,
place,
then put him in there.
Sure. If 2 of your top contenders crash out, sure. If the wild card was 6th place, great. I don't care if he qualifies 1st or 2nd. I would not put him in my top 5. Not till he does it consistently. I would be more likely to put Hunter in my top 5 right now than I would Ferrandis. Even though he's only done it once, I would still put Hunter over Ferrandis right now.
Yeah.
And we're not even going to talk about Hunter just because you need more stats to back it up.
Yeah.
If you want to go off momentum, stick him in there.
Yeah, once he does it twice, sounds good.
We need to have a good saying like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Something like that for top 5s.
For real. But with that said, Wildcard is 13th place.
Tomac, though. Fool me once,
Lucky
shame
13.
on you. He's fooled me twice, shame on me.
Yeah.
All right. Wildcard. This is a fly racing wildcard watch.
Yep.
Hey, privateer payout, by the way. Oh, did you bring up the fantasy cash?
I didn't bring up the fantasy cash.
Hey, don't forget, folks, expire after a month. So if you've got that fantasy cash, if you haven't yet, link your accounts. But that expires after a month, so make sure to go use it on Rocky Mountain's website. There it is.
Cha-ching.
Boom. Available right after the races.
Yeah.
It's free money. Everyone wins.
Use it on some Rynopower.
There you go. I like that.
Race packs. Something.
Love them. The Mana gel packs, dude. Freaking.
Oh, yeah.
Or is it the Mana bar? I can't remember.
He's got all kinds of stuff.
He does. All right.
Perfect.
Fly racing wildcard watch. Chuck, kick us off, dude.
Christian Craig.
Well, what place is it? You didn't even tell the people what place it is.
Oh, yeah, I did. 13th.
Oh, did you?
Lucky 13.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So I actually wanted to talk about Christian Craig first.
That's fine.
That's who I've got in there.
Okay.
So overall finishes, 20, 14, 20, 14, 13, 12. So last 3 finishes, 12, 13, 14. So that's your average of 13 right there. Last 3 races.
Do you do math, Charles?
Well, Jett taught me. I watch him on the internet a lot.
All
anyway.
right. Like his average qualifying is barely under 13.
Yeah.
Last week he started 16th and finished 12th, so it doesn't really matter where he starts.
Yeah.
He's
going to be right there.
He's got to be scared to get hurt right now or something. I don't know. I feel
never know.
Maybe we're being
Family
too
man.
hard. I mean, he had a really bad injury last year, like broken hip, right? Dislocated or whatever. His elbow was really jacked up. I mean,
we talked to him, and he was like, "No, I'm just thinking about riding." It's like the fear of getting hurt again wasn't on his mind, but
dude, I don't know.
Maybe time changes things. I don't know.
I asked him. I invited him to play in this charity golf event thing, and he's like, "Dude, I don't even know if I can swing a golf club." So like, I think his elbow and everything is giving him problems more than he maybe wants to say. Maybe he doesn't want to give excuses, but I really don't feel like he is riding anywhere near 100% right now.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take it easy a little bit.
Yeah.
Shea McElrath, here's another solid pick. Oh, there we are, number 12. So overall finishes. So he just got, oh man, hasn't been stellar, but 12.
He just told us he was going to get 14th, and he got 14th. That was cool.
Yeah, 14, 14, 18. I mean, he got 4th at round 2, but he's right around there. Does he improve? I mean, I look at the riders that would have to finish ahead of him, and honestly, like, there's just that many good dudes.
Yeah.
That, like, anybody past 14th, like, who's a rider that's getting better than 14th that is, trying to think, like a Kyle Chisholm maybe, but not even. It's like, I mean, you've got Justin Cooper's getting 10ths, and you got Hunter, who was like in that 10th place range, Dean Wilson. So like the dudes that are 13th and better are no slouches, like Christian Craig, you know what I mean? So, gosh, man. The only thing about him, he's been to the LCQ twice this year, so he does have that little bit of risk factor to him. His average finish per gate drop is just under 15 in 13 standard rounds. Going back. So, and for him, it doesn't matter if he starts 6th or 17th, he's still finishing in 14th the last 2 races.
Yep.
So he started 6th, started 17th, still finished 14th. So he's like Craig. He's either working forward to that like kind of threshold or is fading back to that.
Could this be his lucky 13?
I don't know.
And the cool thing is when he is in the LCQ, like last weekend, he wins it.
Yeah, but look at this. Christian obviously put this one in here because he says his season average for 2023 was 13.56. Average per gate drop, or his season average, his average per gate drop was 13.91. Can't beat the numbers.
Can't beat the numbers.
All right. Dean Wilson, dude, do it up.
Dean Wilson, overall finishes 16, 16, 10. DNS.
Yeah, Dino's
17, 16. Yep. So
He got taken out in the LCQ
Oh, yeah,
for that
yeah.
DNS, just so everybody knows.
Who took him out?
That was Freeze.
Can't remember.
Did he get?
Probably
he didn't
Freeze,
get freeze
actually.
raid.
Yeah.
No, was it really?
Yeah,
Let me
it
know
was
in the
like
chat if
it
you
was
remember.
the first or second race, and
The LCQ in Glendale, he got taken out. I thought that was
No.
that was the
Not-
LCQ at Detroit or the Triple Crown or something like that. I don't remember.
I thought it was the second race this season.
No, at the Triple Crown, he got taken out or something like that in the main or in the LCQ and didn't make the main event. I don't know what happened to him last week. Or 2 weeks ago. I just know he got 16th. He hasn't finished better than the 16th.
No.
So for him, it would be a pretty big jump to go grab a 13th spot this weekend. I don't know. His best start this season was a 10th in round 5. And honestly, I think Dino, maybe like a top 10s for him would be great, but at this stage in his career where he's at, I think he's just fine. I think his goal is like get into the night show and just ride her into the main. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he's looking at 16ths and maybe, I don't know, he got that 10th. I just don't know his mentality. If like he's really wanting more, if he's going to push for that, or if he's just kind of like, hey, I kind of know my home is like in that range. What do you think?
Well, I mean, obviously he's going to be trying as hard as he can, but maybe that's just where he fits in the lineup.
But, dude, look at his past finishes
And,
in Arlington. 11, 10,
Yeah.
9, 10, 10, 9, 8.
Better than normal.
Better than average.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. And, yeah, I stand corrected. Obviously, this says right on it, LCQ, A2. So, was the
Okay.
takeout. So, yeah, my bad. Apologies, even though.
I don't know. Historically, it doesn't get better than Arlington than the rest of the season. So it's like, if maybe this is that race where he's got good mojo going into it. But does that good mojo get him better than 13th? What if Dino qualified 5th overall or 3rd? What would you do? Would you slap him into your 13th wildcard spot?
No, because then he's probably going to do better than that.
You think so?
I don't know. It's a tricky one.
Okay.
I like the consistency when they're right in that range.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's true. Like some of those overall finishes were triple crowns. Got to factor that in, but not bad. But now there's another rider that's on our wild card watch, which he's another one of those guys where Dino makes a lot more sense than the 51 of Bam Bam Barcia, dude. Yep. I don't know, man. Like he made a post, and I think he edited it after the last round, but he said, "Bike put me on the ground twice." That's
Not a
pretty.
good
That's
sign.
pretty crappy thing to say.
Yeah.
Because your team is just going to look at that and be like, "Oh, cool." Like you just can't do that.
Yep.
Like
Takes a team.
it takes it. Yeah, exactly. It takes a team, and his entire team is just working countless hours and doing anything they can to try and make him comfortable on the motorcycle. And then to say, "Bike put me on the ground twice." Now, maybe I'm being a little bit hard on Barcia, and he didn't think things through or didn't realize what he was saying. But I still read it. I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
But since then, he edited the post, which I'm sure it was the team or the PR person who's like, "Hey, you should change that." And it was more of like just he said he's trying to get comfortable. He kind of like Tomac. He said the bike setting is causing him to get really bad arm pump, especially on rough, ruddy tracks.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
wonder. Oh,
Yeah, and I mean, it might be a real thing. Maybe his bike isn't set up where he wants, but
this is his first year on that new frame, correct?
yeah. Wait, is the gas updated?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
But I just wonder, like Sexton and Mookie and those guys, are they having the same problems? Like, it's just weird. Maybe that's just because some guys are that particular that it matters that much. I don't know.
That fast, but
Just kind of strange.
let me give you some stats here.
What's up?
Last 5 gate drops. 18, 12, 11, 16, 13. His average finish per gate drop is 12.13.
He only has one
So
start.
the average,
The average makes sense, but he only has one start better than 10th in the last 5 gate drops. But he I don't know, dude. Where was he was running up front at one of the races and then crashed. Probably Anaheim won like he usually does. But he's had flashes. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do with Barcia. I think we all know he's better than 13th. I don't know.
yeah.
Maybe like a 10th place. Just improve, do something better.
Yeah.
Like when was it? I guarantee you, in Barcia's entire 450 career, that he's never had 5 races in a row outside the top 10. I could be totally wrong on that, but it would seem probable that this is the worst streak of races that Justin Barcia's ever had.
Yeah, kind of a bummer.
I don't know.
So
Malcolm Stewart, stats-wise, he looks like he's a 13th, but look, he just had his best result of the season. He rode a lot better. He was catching Coop at the end of that, trying to take away that, or Coop was catching Malcolm. No, vice versa. Mookie was an 8th. I got the wild card. He was almost catching Webb. So, rode a lot better.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's looking good and he's fast.
I mean,
He's
8,
just
11,
had some,
10.
Had some bad luck, and maybe he's getting that figured out.
He's trending up, though. Look at that. Overall finishes outside of the mud, 8, 11, 10, 11. So, he's better than 13th. I mean, you could put him in that discussion, but he's not anywhere near top contenders right now. Could he snag a top 5 at any given point? Absolutely. The likelihood of it happening? Not very. I don't know. Is there anything else wild card watch-wise we need to look for?
Those are the main ones.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Maybe
feeling.
J. Coop. Maybe.
Justin Coop? No.
He's better than.
He's been riding good, too. He's just been solid, though. Like, his results, like, he just hasn't had – he didn't make the main in, what was that, San Francisco? The Mutter? Yeah. But outside of that, though, he's just been having good, consistent rides. He's had a few little issues, but no, way better than 13th, I would say.
Yep.
So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Who do you have right now? Well, let's get into it here. So that was your Fox Top Contenders, and then we just did have the Fly Racing Wildcard Watch.
Yep.
There's only one thing left to do, Charles.
There's 2 things left to do, but one of those is Acerbis Lock Em In.
You talking about the memes?
Yes.
Meme event?
You can't forget the
I
memes.
didn't. I just, there's only one thing left to do before we get to the meme event. That's what I meant. That's exactly what I meant.
Perfect. So Acerbis Lock Em In.
Okay, you go first.
Right now, preface, again, 207 points right now is where I'm sitting at. But who I've got right now, Webb, Roczen, he's got that black art diet. I think he's going to be up there again.
What diet?
The black art diet. He's eating
the black
bone marrow, eating raw liver, and
he's the
stuff you shouldn't be eating. I don't know what's going on
It's pretty
there.
gross. It's pretty gross. Okay.
So 3rd place, Jett Lawrence. 4th place, Anderson. 5th place, Tomac. Kind of crazy I don't have Sexton in here, but it's just so much talent
But with the
everywhere,
hand
and we don't
issue,
know
you
about the
can't.
hand. You can't guess and hope he's just going to be in there.
Maybe I'll do an interview with him and get some insight and kind of figure out what's going on there.
That would be awesome.
Okay.
And we'll put it on the Instagram.
All right.
Wait.
What?
And my wild card,
Oh,
Christian
sorry.
Craig. I like that average finish.
Okay.
He's right around that 13th place.
Right now with our points, I feel like Nick didn't update my points. I feel like our points, you're Cooper Webb where you're beating me in points, but you had a crappy win. Like, it almost doesn't count. Like, you didn't win a race, but you still won the overall. And I'm Tomac, who, even worse, hasn't won a race yet. So we're both just like in that boat where we could be better, Charles. It's we, not me, we.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm rooting for us. All right, my picks, here we go. Lock him in. I've got Webb. I'm going to go with the stats.
Yep.
Which he's good here, and he needs to win. I'm going to go Jett 2nd, Tomac 3rd, Roczen 4th, AP 5th. McElrath's going to be my wild card for right now. Which, gosh dang, dude. No,
Yeah, he's right there too.
I don't even have Anderson.
Yeah,
but that's the hard part. You have to leave one of the top guys out of your picks.
Yep.
There's only so many spots. There's only 5 spots in the top 5.
You got Plessinger and I don't, and it kind of feels dumb for me to be saying that, but
You got
what do you
Anderson,
do?
I don't, but neither one of us has Sexton.
Yeah,
I don't know what you do.
it's tough.
You can close your eyes, bird box it.
Hey, should we talk about Nick right now?
Nick Tate, man behind the
Nick
scenes.
behind the camera.
And what about his points? Does he want to brag a little bit? 212. He's beating you.
wanna
All
hear
right,
his
Nick.
picks.
Let's hear your
Maybe
points,
I
Nick.
want to brag on you guys.
Nick, let's hear it real quick.
212 points, guys. So here's the thing. I'm going to shake it up a little bit. Roczen, number 1.
Defies the stats. Back-to-back
Defies the
stadium.
stats, yeah.
Okay.
2017 was the last time he did it, but like Charles said,
Okay.
he's got the diet going.
The bone
We
marrow.
could see a 1-1 here.
We could see a 1-1.
So
Okay.
Roczen,
This diet could be the game changer.
All right.
then Jett, obviously. Plessinger. I like what these guys are saying. Plessinger has to be in your top 3
Okay.
for Arlington. Anderson, Tomac, Wildcard, McElrath.
I like that.
So, yeah,
Not bad.
couple takeaways. Couple McElraths.
Couple
And
McElraths.
also even Blair,
Okay.
a few Webbs, number one.
Nick does not have the current all-time winner in Arlington in his picks right now.
Not looking good for Nick.
Not looking good for Nick. Nick, I probably said that. And Nick's just like, oh, probably didn't even realize it.
Here's
Yeah,
the thing.
well, that
I'd be
happens, right?
embarrassed if I was him.
I just don't want Webb in my top 5.
Nick's a Webb hater, dude. Did you hear him earlier? When we were
I
talking
don't
about
understand,
Webb,
man.
he is a Webb hater, just like not happy. He thinks that
Cooper
that was
Webb,
like
if
an
you're
aggressive
listening, We can
pass.
still be friends.
Webb got close to Jett, and Nick's, his Hundy's gotten a wad, dude. It's like he's got a wedgie, and he's mad at Webb for doing it to him or something.
Hey, Mr. Rogers is asking about Wildcard. Yes, it's 13th.
Yeah. Yeah. Some people are actually like cheering for you, Nick. Krista says she loves you. Jeez-o. All right. Well, let's get to
Nick's
it
a
here.
boss.
Meme
event.
Meme event. What do we got here?
Welcome to the meme event.
Nick, roll tape here. Let's see some of our best ones we got throughout the week.
Yeah, what do you do? Standing around, no Supercross on a Saturday?
I got to deal with screaming kids and no races to watch to distract me. That's what I do.
He's contemplating life. I love it. All right, next one. AP for President 2024.
I like that.
He'd get my vote.
Dude, Arlington's got, like, when they're having, like, a special for just him at a bar, you know the crowd's going to be going crazy.
It's gonna be
for
insane.
Cowboy AP.
Pick a good parking spot if you go.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, this was actually a GIF.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Yeah, I wanted to bring that up too. Hey, if you wanna see these memes that are GIFs in their full glory, check out the Discord.
Yep. Go to the Discord because, we can't FYI, so people know, they can't show the GIFs, like the motion of it in the show. But, yeah, the Discord link to that is in the description. Go join it because we have the chat in there. We have the meme submission. But
Roczen, a master of his science. That's what we're going for here.
hey, real quick, has there ever been a better rebranding of any 450 rider in the history of the sport?
Than
AP,
Roczen?
well, no, because AP before, was he Cowboy AP when he was on Yamaha? Maybe for like a year. When he first came into the sport, like 250s especially, dude, he was a Vans skinny jean wearing hipster. And then it was just like all of a sudden he was
True
just
colors
like,
came
he
out,
just
dude.
decided, you know what, I'm gonna
Couldn't
go be
contain
a
it
cowboy.
anymore.
Like, what a great decision. What a great decision.
What a great decision.
All right, let's go back. Sorry, keep rolling them. It's true.
Yeah, kickstart my heart.
Dude, I want Kenny to win this championship. If I'm being
That'll
totally
be
honest.
so. Me too.
And I'm not
Because
even like, go ahead.
That was such a. I hate to even. I don't even want to jinx it, but 2017. Man, if that never happened,
What could have been, right?
what could have been? And like, maybe this is the best he's feeling since then. I don't know.
I mean, I'm just saying, if any rider has had to suffer through more just setbacks in the 450 class currently, it would be Ken Roczen. And look, I'm not even like, he kind of cool guyed me a little bit last year in New York. Left a little sour taste in my mouth. I'm gonna look through that, and I'm gonna say, I feel like Kenny just deserves one of these things, and I hope that his mentality is that he knows and feels that he can do it. Because I think this is with Honda, he was just never really happy over that team. There was always excuses coming out, whatever. I feel like we just have the best Kenny Roczen that we've seen in like the last 4 years.
Pressure's off. Seems real comfortable. Seems like he's enjoying.
It is
every ride.
until he like starts creeping up on that points gap if he starts doing that.
Yeah.
So, all right, what do we got next?
Okay. Yeah.
Is that how
Checking to
you
see your
felt?
points.
Is that how you felt?
Well, it's crazy. It's like, yeah, sometimes. But I'm like, oh man, what was my picks again? Like halfway through the race, just checking it out. And anyway,
Okay.
good times. Next one.
What do we got?
I immediately regret this decision. I'm with that.
I mean, Nick's gonna immediately regret not
The-
putting Coop in his top five.
I agree with that.
He'll change it. Let's bet $5
Coop.
right now that Coop ends up in Nick's top five.
I'm not going to bet against you. I bet he will.
Well, okay, we'll take that bet to Nick. We'll split it, $250 each.
How's that even work?
You and I are gonna make a bet with Nick. That
All
he'll put Coop in there, and Nick's going to say, no, I'm not.
Now he's just going to take our money and lose the points.
Yeah, $5
He's
richer
gonna lose
already,
the
baby.
points.
Do you want to risk? Do you want $5 or risk not getting fantasy points? Like, you have to make a decision. What's more important to you?
That is true. Depending on qualifying, I may or may not lose $5. I'll take the bet though. Let's take the bet.
Okay.
Life's too short.
That's true. Too short not to make bets like that. Big bets. Big spenders over here.
Yeah, red flag it.
Well, we get to do that. You get your 2 lowest scores dropped. It would be cool if like it was like the points chase in NASCAR where like 3/4 of the way through the season, it was just reset. But like the top 10, like maybe the person that's leading got 10 points and then, went down a little bit. But I only say that because I'm getting my butt kicked. If I was the guy winning, I'd be like, no. Because they've talked about doing that in Supercross.
Really?
Yeah, because they've had so many years where like it's a runaway and the guy wins a couple rounds early. And so they've talked about how can they tighten that up to where like it doesn't happen because you lose a lot of interest in the series at the end of the year when you already know who's winning the championship. So they've talked about going to like the points chase system like in NASCAR where you basically get to whatever round and then they not fully reset the points, but like Super Motocross, you have the points reset, right? So it goes to 0, except that the guy going in has 3 points because they do Olympic scoring at those races. Well,
I don't like this at all.
Chase Sexton started with 25 points, or I can't remember what they did. I'll find out. But they reset the points. Obviously, the guy that was leading is not going to be penalized and just get 0 points. And so he starts with a small cushion.
Not looking
but
good for Kenny.
It makes it possible to where the guy that's 4th in points still has a shot to win the title.
Yeah, I don't like that. I feel like if you earn it, you earn it. And I feel like people, if you point out of the 250 class or whatever, moving up to we have so many 250 champions in the 450s. I feel like that's making it real spicy this year.
Oh, look at that. I don't know who did this. Maybe it was Christian, but said, I'd rather only see count 16 round scores than do any type of chase reset. So you drop your lowest score, like you get 1 throwaway race. That'd be cool. I think that's good. So like a mud race happens, like Joe Shimoda 250 class.
Yeah.
Mud race, bike quits. It's like 2nd, 3rd lap. Immediately, just basically like your championship at that point is like all but over, right? And you're supposed to be a title contender. What if that could be a throwaway race? Everybody gets 1.
We could have saved McAdoo. Just saying.
Hey, he's not out of it. Hey, anything could happen.
We could have saved his.
Thank you, Dr. JB. That's how they started at the SMX playoffs. Chase Sexton went in there with 25. Jett had 23, and so forth. So yeah, I would be up for that. Like a points or not a reset, but 16 out of 17 rounds count. But would you have guys throw in races? Like if Homie was like his worst result so far in the year was a 7th and he's in 9th place. Or no, I guess that would just be his worst result. Yeah. Just saying.
I don't know.
Just saying.
Yeah.
That'd be
could
cool.
be a thing. Or it could stay the same.
I just confused everybody in the chat.
Anyway, with that being said, we got more memes, and I want to see them.
Do we?
Oh, geez.
Sorry, I'm getting way off track.
Girlfriends, who aren't SX fans. This is why I don't mind watching. I don't know about this.
Sid's not around anymore to talk about when, this could be the meme when Chase Sexton takes his shirt off. Sid's not around to comment on that, but yeah, I don't know.
Anyway.
Can we do something about these pants? Come on, dude.
Come on.
It's getting out of hand here. I mean, I understand
these yoga
athletic
pants
fit.
here, what's going on?
This is not
We're going
athletic.
to yoga pants?
What's after athletic fit?
But it's not even about
yoga
winning.
pants?
Probably.
Just yoga?
Yoga.
Barcia's in the yoga class?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
He's on the yoga.
He's like one thread away from having the McAdoo blowout session number 2, dude. Like, just one thread.
He's walking the line.
All right.
Who's his sponsor again? Anyway, next one. Let's run it.
All right.
I put this one in here for you, Charles.
Yeah. Yeah, shining the flashlight and giving your dad the wrong wrenches.
He just looks at you with disappointment.
Yeah,
like you raised a bad kid.
Yeah.
I do remember that, actually. My dad one time asked me for a crescent wrench. I don't remember how old I was, but I just looked at him and was like, I don't know what that is. And you could just tell he's just like, I have not taught my kids anything. I did feel like an idiot. I learned real quick what a crescent wrench was.
I got lucky. My dad was nice.
Was he?
Yeah, he taught me all the stuff. So
Oh,
cool.
he taught you all the stuff.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
But
All right, fair enough.
I think we have some more.
Do we?
Yeah. Oh, man. Every time Ricky Carmichael compliments a rider, this guy is riding flawless.
Did Nate Thrasher crash right after that?
Yeah, he was complimenting him like, oh, putting on a clinic, blah, blah, blah. And then, pew,
And then he called him the
loser of the night.
and then he burns him. What is up with that, man?
So he tells him how amazing he's riding, and then like literally a minute later,
If you're a rider, you do not want Carmichael to give you a compliment.
because it will happen.
The crash will happen. I don't know what it is. Maybe he's
the biggest loser thing is so out of context, but it makes for great radio and great YouTube.
Carmichael's a good dude. It's just weird coincidences, but
Oh gosh, dude.
anyway.
It is the
Hey.
announcer's curse. Just don't do it.
I think we got one more thing in there. What did Anderson say at the old press conference?
Uncharacteristic mistakes.
What did Anderson say?
You're going to have to
what-
give me a second for that one. Sorry.
We'll figure it out. Well, look, we're running out of time here. We've done to lock it in. You guys have seen it. Go to the Discord. Go down there. Link to that is in the description. Go check it all out. But with that being said, we're headed to Arlington. We're giving away 20 tickets for Birmingham. So make sure, comment after this video is live, if you can make it, how many tickets you would want. And gosh, it was a stressful show. We apologize for the beginning. It wasn't streaming, but we solved it, and we redeemed ourselves by having Ryno and Blair call at the same time.
Yep.
That was cool.
We'll get
Good.
it good for next week. Don't you worry. Don't you guys worry.
Yeah. Also, I have to clarify, respect to the GOAT. I've always loved watching Carmichael. Love him commentating, all that stuff.
You're acting like you're going to
Great
see
dude.
him tomorrow, and he's going to be mad at you.
No. I've been a fan forever, and he's awesome. But people are saying like I'm hating him. I'm just saying sometimes he's jinxing people.
It is really
Charles, you need to grow some thicker skin, bro. You got to learn to just soak it all up. OMG, Charles, shush.
All right. Well, anyway. Did you find that Ando thing yet?
What
Or
is
it
it?
not going to happen?
It's I don't know if we're going to make it happen.
Okay. Well, we won't worry about
I had it lined
That's
up.
all right.
But let's just talk about it real quick. It was just Jason Anderson. He didn't know his mic was live.
Cedar City.
He was saying, yeah, we
He was-
used to race at Mesquite, except for we went up to Cedar City. And then he was like, yeah, it sucked.
Yeah. My hometown. He was talking about the track at my hometown, talking crap.
Did you ride there?
So there was an old place, Cedar Raceway. It was amazing. It was awesome. Super fun. Lots of different qualifier races there. But then it changed. That one shut down, and then they changed tracks. So I don't know which track he was riding at.
Okay.
There was definitely a difference between the two.
Was
One
Iron
super-
Mine?
Iron Mine is the newer one.
Okay.
And, yeah, full respect to them and the old owners of the Cedar Raceway. But
Okay.
anyway, I liked
I couldn't
it.
figure out what
That's
you
all
guys were
I
talking
know,
about. I was like,
but
oh, yeah.
anyway.
He's like, yeah, my
Burning
family used to
my
go to Cedar
hometown.
City. And he's like, it sucked.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, well.
Charles got so offended by that. That's all right.
Such a bummer, but all good.
Well, look, everybody, thank you for tuning in live. We've had an absolute blast. Good to be back. We're going to be back next week. Weird, Daytona's already around the corner. It's round 9 this year, or 8. Normally it's like round 10.
Yeah.
Because I always say the series starts in Daytona, but it's early this year. But I'm all right with that. Well, look, everybody, thank you so much. Remember, spend that fantasy cash. Link to the Discords down below. You can go on the fantasy site. You can check out all the prizes. The weekly prizes are always up for grabs. And as always, if you have any comments, feedback, we want to hear that. So make sure comment down below. But, Chuck, you got anything before we sign off?
Give us some more memes. We love them.
Yes.
So make your picks. Don't forget them.
All right,
Don't fall
everybody.
under the rollover trap. But with that being said, we will catch you guys next week.
See you then.